السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نواصل ستارفيلد. طبعا الحلقة اللي راحت أدينا إحدى مهمات الجماعة اللي انضمينا لها لليو سي، والحين بنغير شوي، بنلعب مهمات اللي وراها فلوس موجودة في كمبيوتر الكونستليشن. طبعا أبشركم إني اكتشفت وين الليت موجود، اكتشفت الاختصارات، تذكرت أنا في اختصارات سواء الأسلحة أو تقدر تختار اللي تبيه، ما يحتاج تدخل المنيو كل شوي. حتى موضوع المهمات من هنا وخلاص. أحيانا لما تستعجل في اللعب ما تركز ولا تدقق في الأشياء هذه.
Disregard. I attempted an informal greeting, but
everything seems to be where we left it. About time you woke. Have things to do.
أنا محتاج تقرب منه. اوكي. طبعا هذه المهمة مختلفة عن المهمة اللي جينا لها، لكن في موقع قوة هنا، فبالمرة خلنا ناخذها وبعدين نرجع.
Another planet without native life. All we need to concern ourselves with then is other visitors.
داج. أقول لك إن هذا شيء عظيم يعني. ما أدري هذا هو نفس المطلوب ولا غير. 3B زي 3B. مش مكتوب إنه هنا بس مو مش هنا أصلا. ليش نفس الاسم؟ كلهم 2. شوف حاطينهم فوق بعض. شو العبط طيب؟ خلصنا خلاص. لازم انزل بعد. ولا كيف اكمل؟ في مكان. الله يعني شكل المهمة بتطول كذا على الفاضي. خلصت. يعني زين، كانت سهلة. يعني ما شال المرض كامل. نرجع لمهمات للأسف. نرجع لمهمات الجماعة ونواصل ما يتعلق بذيك المهمة مع الكائن الغريب المفترس اللي مات بدون ما أطلق ولا طلقة.
So many people, all in one place. I still cannot feel entirely comfortable.
Captain! Over here!
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, my relationship with the UC, it's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. I am a clone.
وشو؟
Of a man named Francois
يا سلام.
one-time fleet admiral of
دخل
the
التحويل
UC
بأي
during the
طريقة.
Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned.
عندي إحساس إنك ما راح تعيش
Program
لنهاية
I
اللعبة.
was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most secure the leadership of the UC military. I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. Freestar Collective, and the things he did, well, They're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar collect. So my involvement, it could be an... That's not an unfair assessment. So your help means a... I just... You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? Or if you've got any... No telling how long the cap... Then I guess it's just a matter...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Ah, welcome.
عمونا
You
يا
must be
ماس
the
الوقت.
captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes,
Yasin.
well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data. A request which will require not just this... Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to... Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the...
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat. They've been happening for To demand we hand over banned archive seems at best panic. And at worst,
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude...
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life, Chief Yasin has a point. Will a single attack, however... I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain.
just taking her word for it as well, then.
So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you...
Whatever risks exist, they are outweighed by this imminent threat.
لبنان طلعتي.
I agree. The request should be granted.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Well, I am not. I've heard nothing here to convince me that we should do anything.
خليني ياسين أغبى واحد
I will
فيهم.
not risk galactic peace.
ولا هو
for a
العاقل
question
يعني.
of if.
Yes, a fair assessment. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think what is that? Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged. Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
كيف؟
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Oh no.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the
شو مخليني
evacuation of the
ياسين
spaceport and
معوق؟
have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming. and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
You! The EM rifle, grab it!
What are you doing? EM fire, Captain!
Can't stop. Oh, they even try.
Thank God you got here when you did.
Yeah, what the hell happened back there, Captain? There's no excuse for using lethal force.
وشو ضربتهم ضرب بس.
This isn't a joke. We're preventing casualties, not causing them. So get your head in the game. Understand?
لا يا اخي الحين راح بالي الضرب بينفعهم. ضربه في الراس عشان يصحصح بس. شو اسوي طيب؟ شنو هذا؟
The EM rifle, grab it!
That's it. Now hit him with everything.
الكهرباء عادي.
God.
We're trying to help you!
Threat neutralized. Target down.
شقلبه.
Another victory. Well earned.
Thank you.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
We tried to restrain them, get them on the... But some of the other officers down there... We couldn't restrain them fast enough.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce... It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire. And keep that EM weapon at the ready. Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please.
Quiet. Did you hear that?
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's
Evacuation
move.
order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good! Experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it
قاعد
fast.
أسولف معه.
We'll hold them as best we can.
might be looking for some backup. You say the word.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here.
Surviving a full-on mint?
We're not UC security. Roger that. We're on. Getting all worked up over nothing.
تبي اسوي فخ طوالي.
Captain! You're going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real!
اتكلم منها زين.
So put down that form!
راح تركب معايا يا معوض.
Target down! Nice work, Captain!
The rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. I don't want to think what would have happened if you...
Just glad we could rise to the... Captain, we should report back to the President. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before we're exiting.
Nothing's getting to the cabinet.
To hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well, your concerns about the terramorphs.
Thank you, ma'am.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain. But now, after today's events, the cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of the... But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers that the cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to those credits and real estate you're after. So, will you help us? It has
يغروني
its perks.
بالجواز ذي لا.
Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you, but above all,
ممتاز.
you'd become a dedicated part
ما
of the
يهم.
greatest faction. I'm
أبي
glad to
فلوس
hear it.
بس.
Now, We, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the... You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you...
Damage to the space.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer. Start getting the plan together for that day.
وين
They
هذا
didn't get
ياسين
by sitting on our laurels. Our
المعوق؟
laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
Yes, what?
These orders can't be. Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done.
قاعد أتكلم ياسين شكله الحين يسوي
That
مشاكل.
must make you my vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the...
I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you... Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire... UC. Freestar.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince two people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Farouk. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot.
I couldn't agree more. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't... Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence. Though that doesn't mean we can't get...
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? The good Ambassador Radcliffe.
كلهم حريم عسى ما شر.
She's a veteran.
ما في رجال ولا حطوا رجال أمه ياسين وخلوه معوق.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. But my suspicion is we're going to have... Huh. Well, if that's the case, UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land your...
So, if you are going to try and access the device, report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Radcliffe. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information, and someone who very likely
طبعا الرجال مقهور من المرأة.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Ambassador Balmore's... When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, he's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests. So there's... Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a...
Well, these days, they're primarily considered House Varun zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great... But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to... It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiation, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador.
It does. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually... His public appearances were always rare. But scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next. But let's hope it doesn't come. The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted in. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but we're quite sure he hasn't left. The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish. I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out. Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach, I'd suggest be smart out there, Captain.
Okay. Hello.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people. I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is... Can we speak for a moment?
Visitors are only allowed.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
طيب.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? What are you? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is... I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and... You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. I'm listening.
اوه صعبة هذه.
Londonian. They had to abandon the planet. But that couldn't happen again.
ليش لا؟
It's a job I take very... It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. Oh, I understand precisely what's at stake here. The balance of galactic peace. Captain, I'm sorry, but my...
أحاول أقنعها مرة ثانية.
All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint.
This building is free.
I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm sorry. Do you have... What are you? Ah, you're the... You have my thanks. Now, now the use... I can only presume. Let me be frank. I will not be the... You're really gonna push this? I'm listening. Oh, please. And if the United...
ما ينفع مع الكلام هذا.
Preventing more... excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm sorry. Do you have... Ah, you're the one. You have my... Now, now the use... I can only presume. Let me be frank. I will not be... You're really gonna push... I'm listening. I suppose you're right. It's possible I might be letting my history... Less than a generation. Captain, I'm sorry.
ما يكفي الكلام.
Did I not make myself... No, Captain, I'm not, and I'll tell you what. Fought tooth and nail. But so I'm not... I guess you will. Feel free.
That woman isn't... Oh, sorry. Oh, you know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm... And like I've got you... Wow, then you have... But look, they said you were coming here. The ambassador likes to handle all that, even if she does have... And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City. You were sent... Huh, let's talk in my office.
وين المكتب مالك؟
Hey, maybe try not to look like you're following me. You have done this before, right?
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
So you want me to work with you? No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go... So then, Her quarters. Huh. And you and the UC will be providing me with... Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire me. Really?
شغل الكذب.
Okay.
خلص علينا بس.
There's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering. I'll keep an ear out.
Patching in playback.
Son of a bitch! Cameron! Are you alright, Ambassador? It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again, which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. We should expedite the process.
What are you getting at, ma'am?
I mean, my requests keep being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if one opened up? The lives of heart in what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him.
Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep.
Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh?
Good night, Eva.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear? Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about. No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of... So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can... But where are my manners? Here, my pistol. Laredo. Custom made.
شكرا.
Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure... In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purpose. But those two items should be enough to allay any... What on earth are you... Ah, yes. Now let's go get your code piece so you can be on...
You're allowed 3 places. Conference room, lobby, or the ambassador's office. When you set foot anywhere else,
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. It is reassuring to know there are still some people in this universe you can trust. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion. Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we will
شكرا.
or sell.
Exactly. It's like...
I appreciate that they have not demolished the structure, even if diplomacy has ended for now. It may not have been their intention. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance. You seem... I think you have certain... If I may... No, I do not. Many of the other members. I have not shared my... Why should I be? For those that have Vladimir's... I... No, but it seems... I know this seemed by a group. And yet here we are, discussing these... I wanted to thank you. I know that it would have been. Thank you. Here, I... Yes.
بدي الناس خلص علينا.
I saw it. Of course. I will keep an eye. Did you need something? What have you got for me? Right. This is certainly different than anything else. I never had the patience for computer systems. Decades unsupervised, and it seems this tree now owns this place. Winner takes all is the phrase, is it not?
يعني مغير الاعدادات، ليش ما تعدل؟
I hope you are sufficiently rested.
لأن أزرق بس ما يدخل داخل. كذا اوكي.
How quickly can you get that done?
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely... I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning it as the rest of the city suffered... Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to soon. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that... You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... An archive code. So the UC requires information then. On terror. The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends.
Every measure will be taken to ensure the information is used for good.
Well, then I shall not fear. Please. Let's hope it still works.
You might wish to lighten your load. One is less likely to survive an ambush when one is weighed down with whatever all that is.
We'll be so lucky next time the archives need to be accessed. So, the Great Serpent is so much more. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies
اسمها جنان.
140 years ago for distant stars, it was the serpent that compelled him. The serpent made us who we are today. Its voice... It was tolerable, even pleasant, when my brethren... We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. With my brethren gone... The affairs of House Varun are our own. They left. That... House Varun committed itself. This was said at the time. So, when my brethren...
خلصنا ولا ايش؟
Captain, I just received a couple messages from an operative in the Did you actually succeed? With Rat? That's incredible. I'm very much looking forward to getting the debrief on how precisely you managed to pull all this off, but regardless. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza. Absolute best behavior down there.
عموما ننهي حلقة اليوم هنا، نواصل إن شاء الله الحلقة الجاية. أشكركم على المتابعة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.